today I'm reviewing the ordinary salicylic acid 2% solution. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase these products with my own money. I'll never waste your time with sponsor ads or videos, so if you want to help support the channel, check out nobsb.com, join Patreon community, or click on the links below. Okay, so the long-awaited official reversion of the ordinary 2% salicylic acid solution, although they threw a little curveball in, and before they released this version, they released a version meant for dry skin types, and it is very hydrating. So if you have oily skin, probably don't want this version. You want the solution. So they kind of threw a thing in, and instead of just reformulating one product, they did what they do best, and they made two products. Why not? Okay, so they say this new version is the one geared towards oily skin, while the other version, the anhydrous version, is for dry skin types. Takes a while to sink in. So, okay, so they say the ordinary salicylic acid 2% solution is reformulated for all skin types, including those prone to congestion and blemishes. The light formula removes dead skin cells that can contribute to clogged pores, providing skin clarity with continued use over time. This is the formula they recommend for oily skin types. So, I've got a lot of thoughts on it, and to be honest, it all kind of comes down to classic, the ordinary, and I'll talk about that in a minute. What is classic, the ordinary? So, okay, my first criteria is packaging. Simple, boring packaging, but efficient. No issues with that. In terms of denatured drying types of alcohol, it does not contain any of those. I think that's the one thing that was in the old version that I didn't like, is I think it had a fair amount of just alcohol in it. But I could be wrong because it was a while ago. But anyway, there's no alcohol, there's no fragrance, has no real scent. The manufacturing location is Canada, and let's do a quick pH test of it, because I still am of the school that salicylic acid works best at a pH under 4, but some people don't necessarily believe that, so come to your own conclusion. But I just find it works best when the pH is a little bit lower. So looks like it is. I would say it's probably just a hair over 3, so there we go. Make sure it's on the overhead. So no issues at all with that. So that is good news so far. Ease of use of it. So this is classic, the ordinary. They've got affordable product, decently packaged, pretty decently formulated, not expensive. But when it comes to everything to the ordinary, it always comes down to ease of use. That is the one thing that they have issues with. Their vitamin C serums, most of them are either if they're in the thicker form, they feel gritty, or certain, like their sunscreen was pretty thick, so it wasn't the easiest to apply and use. They just have issues with making their products user friendly. Their buffet takes a long time to soak in, and this is no exception. This has the fatal flaw of not being easy to use. It foams unless you apply it immediately. After cleansing, toning essences, it will foam if you put it over almost any basic hydrating serum. And I prefer to, in my evening routine, I will cleanse, tone, essence, I will apply a hydrating serum, then I will apply my salicylic acid. I just have never applied it directly after cleansing. I always apply a hydrating serum before that. So if you use nearly virtually any product under this, it's going to foam. And it's not appealing. It doesn't make it fun to use. It makes it hard to smooth in. It's a foamy mess. And I really haven't had that much issue with another product foaming that as much up until the Protini recently just started foaming on me. So anyway, so it's not fun to use. Like their azelaic acid, another one, it's kind of gritty. It pills, and this one also can pill up depending on what you use over it. So keep that in mind. The texture of it's just nice, no issues at all. Except for when you're applying it over anything and it foams up. It's just not appealing to use. So kind of a similar thing that they could work on, or maybe Estee Lauder could focus on. But again, when you're spending something so affordable, I mean, I guess they can't deliver on totally everything, or else the product would be $30 or something like that. So not very fun to use. I didn't have too much issues with it pilling, but it is kind of one that is on the edge of pilling a lot. But the foam was my huge deal breaker for me, which just doesn't make it fun to use. Okay, so antioxidants and beneficial ingredients. So we did the pH test. So let's talk about the ingredients of this one. It does take a little bit of time to absorb, but it's not nearly as thick as their other version, which kind of just sits on top of the skin and takes a while to absorb. Here, I'll put one on the other hand just so you can see the difference. There we go. So, I mean, definitely, if you have oily skin, you're not going to want the non-liquid version. Okay, so antioxidants and beneficial ingredients. So we've got Saccharide Isomerate. It's a plant-derived moisturizing ingredient. We've got Cocamidopropyl Dimethylamine, which is a foaming cleansing ingredient. There's the reason for the foam. It does have a purpose. It's typically used on leave-on products with salicylic acid to make it water soluble. Otherwise, salicylic acid isn't friends with water. So we have to have that other ingredient, which causes the foam to be in there so it will bind with the water molecules in this and form a stable solution. So I get it. They have to find some way to make the salicylic acid part of the whole solution, and that foaming ingredient was it, apparently, and sadly. Okay, then we've got salicylic acid, BHA exfoliant, anti-acne ingredients, also has some soothing properties, great for treating blackheads, can also help slow down and reduce the number of breakouts, does a great job exfoliating the surface of the skin as well as getting down into those pores and clearing them out and cleaning them out. Great ingredient for problematic skin as well as sometimes it's soothing. So, otherwise, not a crazy long ingredient list. That's what The Ordinary does, so I'm not penalizing them because they don't have a crazy long ingredient list. They do the one-note products, which this is. So, okay. In terms of animal testing, this is vegan. It's nut-free, it's gluten-free, and it's cruelty-free. So we've got all the frees. In terms of performance, I didn't mind it. I just found it a pain in the tush to use. Because you have to spend a couple minutes patting it in if you use a serum before it. And maybe if you don't, then you might not have that issue as much. I found this one to be a little bit on the drying side, but not terribly, although I'm not their target audience with this one. I'm their target audience for the other version, so the fact that this is a little bit drying, for most people, it's not going to be an issue. I did find it gentle, and I like the fact that it's got some hydrating ingredients in there. And the other nice thing is for acne-prone skin, there are no ingredients of note, so that's even better, so performs nicely. The price you can't beat. 1 ounce, 30 milliliters, retails for $5.90. It's just a really good price for a salicylic acid product. Most of them are $20, $30 or more. So sometimes makes the foaming a little bit more tolerable when you think you're not spending a ton of money on it. In terms of the it factor, I do like this better than the previous version of the salicylic acid they had. Not even before this one altogether. I don't love the application process of this. It's not very fun. It's a big thing with The Ordinary. They can make good products. They just don't know how to make them easy and fun and enjoyable to use. Anyway, so yeah, I found it to be fine. The results similar to other beta hydroxy acid serums I've used. So with a 10 being a perfect score, I gave this one an 8. Ta-da! I don't know. I could say one small change and this would be perfect, but I don't think that's true. I think this will work well for a lot of people. And sometimes when it's $6, yeah, it's not going to be perfect. So anyway, leave a comment with your thoughts. Love hearing from you guys. And stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.